Okay, let's go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this CJC Scrutiny Committee meeting. Hope you're enjoying the weather. It's a bit warmer today than it has been over the last couple of days. I've even heard people talking about putting the heating on, which is a bit early for me. There we are. Uh, I haven't got any announcements. Agenda item 1, you'll be pleased to know, but I would like to remind you all that the meeting has been recorded. Please remember to turn your mobile phones to silent and don't use them too much during the meeting. And when asked to raise your hand, if you could use your electronic hand, so it's easier for me to see on the screen, and it avoids us all waving at our cameras like we're waving goodbye. Okay, thank you very much. Alison, I think there's some apologies this morning.
Yeah, just so Chair, I've had apologies from Councillors Derek Kennedy, Mark Teeney and Wendy Lewis this morning.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm going to move on to agenda item 2, declarations of interest. Just to confirm, if there are any declarations of interest, then you need to let us know, and Alison can send you a form to complete. Are there any this morning?
I can't see any indications,
I
Chair.
can't see any either. Okay, so agenda item 3, South West Wales Corporate Joint Committee General Progress Update for 23-24. This is pages 3 to 16 of your pack, members. So we'll look at that, and I believe that Christy Tillman is going to do us a verbal update to accompany. So over to you, please, Christy. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Yeah, the purpose of the report really is just to provide members with a general progress update on the progress we've made from 23 to 24, and just to be mindful that this is different to the annual report, which covers the financial monitoring. There are recommendations, and the recommendations are really that members note really the progress and endorse the measures we've taken to date, really. So in terms of what we've covered, really, so we've covered really the update of what progress has been made for 23-24. We've looked at the governance arrangements that we have in place. So we have the 7 formed committees. We also have covered engagement in terms of looking at partner engagement and external engagement through our cooperatives as well. Progress in terms of our functions, the functions being the regional transport, energy, economic well-being and economic development, together with strategic planning as well. So again, those 4 functions are covered with their dedicated subcommittees as well. As a part of this progress report, we've looked at continuous improvement and priorities really for autumn 24 and moving ahead. And those priorities look at appointing our additional advisors for the private sector advisory board. In terms of our main priority as well is finalising our regional strategic equality plan. We had the joint diversity strategy adopted at CJC in September. Also, we're here today to share an update on our Welsh language standards in terms of our compliance notice. So there's a little bit of work around that item as well. Most importantly, we are holding a workshop in November to look at what our priorities are going to look like for 25-26 and reflecting really on what our progress has been up until now and looking at any continuous improvement. Risk management is a huge factor that we need to make sure that is covered correctly. So that'll be a priority for us in the autumn now, and obviously aligning that then with the Audit Wales report as well.
Thank you very much, Christy. Have members got any questions? Don't believe there are any. No, I think it's a very helpful update. Thank you very much. And are we moving? We're noting it, Alison, or are we approving it?
Approving the recommendations, Chair.
Approve the recommendations.
Yeah.
That's okay. So can I have somebody who's willing to propose that we approve the recommendations? please. Yeah, thank you, Councillor Davis. I'm seconded by Councillor Schiavone. Thank you. Okay, so the connection went a bit funny there, but hopefully you could hear me. So I can so that's accepted, unless there's any any dissent. No, good. So we'll note that's passed. Thank you, Alison. And we'll move on to agenda item 4, which is a Welsh language compliance notice update. And we've got Christy Tillman's going to give us an update on that. Thank you, Christy. Over to you again.
Thank you very much, Chair. So you may recall, members, that we brought this item to you back in July, really, as an update to demonstrate that the CJC adopted the compliance notice, having received it on the 24th of April 2024. So really, the purpose of this paper is to advise really of what measures we've put in place in terms of a pragmatic approach moving forward, understanding that the CJC is still within its infancy, where we are required to adopt the compliance notice fully. There are parts where we need to mitigate because parts of it just don't apply in its full content, really. So I think the recommendations for us really is to ensure that requirements as listed within the appendices 1A, B and C are recognised, and the measures that we're putting in place really will ensure that we are compliant so far as reasonably practicable, and that we ensure that we implement ongoing monitoring to ensure that compliance. So the endorsement really is what we're looking for, is that I'll continue to support the Chief Executive for the South and West Wales Corporate Joint Committee as a part of implementing the compliance notice and to ensure ongoing monitoring really of those standards. There are exclusions, and those exclusions relate to publishing a 5-year strategy and reviewing that potential strategy and publishing the findings. So that item and standard is excluded within standard 145 and 146. In terms of implementation, there is a budget for our Welsh language, and we do as a CJC actively promote Welsh language within the organisation and within our communities. So we are looking at ways how we can work with partners and the Welsh Language Commission to share good practice as well. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Christy. Diolch yn fawr, Christy. I can see a question. Councillor Black, would you like to come in?
Just a quick one. Does the Joint Committee have its own Welsh language translation and interpretation resource, or do we use the local authorities, and do we get charged for that?
Yes.
Do you want to take that, Christy? Sorry.
Yes, certainly. There is a resource. It's a part of our SLA format with our Democratic Services partner, which is overseen through Neath Talbot. And then in terms of our strategy for translation services, be that for correspondence requests or synchronized translation, that is also available under the regional support, which can be through Swansea Welsh Translation Service or Carmarthenshire, really, we've utilised in the past. So where often as we can, we are promoting, and I think over the next few months you'll see more regular initiatives really to promote Welsh language, even if it is just promoting phrasing, just to really encourage more Welsh in what we do.
Okay, thanks.
Diolch yn fawr. So we'll move on to one. Oh, I think it's for noting, Alison. Yeah, thank you. So we note that report.
Yes, Chair,
thank
sorry,
you.
I couldn't get off mute.
No, it's fine. No problem. We'll move on to the next item, which is item 5, workshop priorities. This is Act 3 from Christy. Thank you. When you're ready, Christy, over to you.
So as you may recall, members, from our last meeting on the 3rd of September, we discussed the opportunity where we would be scheduling a workshop to discuss the priorities for 25-26, and those priorities being financial priorities and priorities to deliver the wellbeing objectives under the Corporate Joint Committee. So the purpose really is just to share with you our sort of draft agenda of what we're going to be considering and seek your comments really for any other items that you feel are prominent and important to yourselves then to include in that session. So in terms of areas, it'll be an update to be provided really from the Chief Executive, the Monitoring Officer and the Section 151 Officer in terms of where we are today. And as well as that, the regional directors covering each of the 4 functions of the CJC will reflect upon the progress they've made over 23-24 and look at what priorities they feel they need to consider for 25-26 that will aid the budget setting and also consider really any lessons learnt as well. Again, risk management is going to be a big factor of that, and we hope to have that strategy fully implemented as well then. And sorry, there's another one there. So we got the corporate plan, which we will be going out to consultation on early 25. So again, it's just reflecting on that corporate plan to ensure whether they still fit for purpose, and then come back to yourselves and CJC then in December with details of what those options look like, and seeking authority then to go and consult on the corporate plan probably early to mid January then.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much for that update. Yeah, Councillor Black, I know you have a question. Do you want to come in?
Just on the draft regional transport plan, is that going to be when it comes on the 3rd of December? Is that the full plan, or is that going to be an outline? And what stage are we at with that?
Again, the regional transport plan, we've gone out to a pre-consultation, so the findings of that consultation will be encompassed in that draft plan, and they are aiming to then consult fully then in January. So we are looking to submit the draft RTP plan then to Welsh Government early then in 25, sorry.
So this is actually going to be the full transport plan that comes before the committee on the 3rd.
It'll be the draft version, yeah, based on the pre-consultation that we've gained so far.
Okay, thank you. I look forward to that.
Sure, we all do, Peter. Excellent. Okay, so yeah, I think that's great, and you know, obviously, this CJC has been in its infancy for a while, and it'd be nice to see the priorities come through and sort of start to get a bit more established, maybe achieve a bit more. 25-26, assuming the resources are available for that moving forward, and we know that's a problem for everyone. Okay, thank you very much. Are there any more questions for Christy on item 5? No. Okay, good. That means you covered everything in perfect detail, Christy. Thank you. Lovely. So we'll note that and move on. Bear with me a second. Sorry. So we'll move on to agenda item 6, the forward work programme. And this is for us to consider populating it together. We've had some suggestions
yes,
in the pre-briefing.
So, Chairs, just a reminder, our next meeting is for the 21st of November. If members take a look at the Corporate Joint Committee Forward Work Programme, I would suggest the members pull the draft priorities and budget options for 25-26, the draft regional transport plan. Now we know there's the full draft plan that's come in, the Q2 financial monitoring and the energy funding request. And then if there's anything else further, Chair, can liaise with yourself as Chair outside the meeting to discuss pulling anything else forward. That's okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan to me. I'm happy with that. Obviously, just that's going to take a little bit more time than today's meeting, which seems to be almost a record in terms of brevity. But to remind members to leave time for that. Any other thoughts from anyone before we move on to the next item? No, we'll take that advice to Alison, and if there's anything outside of the meeting, please let me know. We can address it. Thank you. So we'll move on to the next item, which is urgent items, and there have been no urgent items made aware to me today, so we can do that, finish that one, and I can move on to just like to thank you all for your contributions this morning and the session, and I appreciate there's not been a lot for us to review, but look forward to a very heavy session next time when we go through a full draft transport plan and all the budgets and everything else that we can look forward to. So get some rest before that meeting. All right, lovely. Thank you very much. I'll close the meeting and we'll see you all soon.